what is the NFAC, and does it really want Texas as a black ethno state? NFAC leader Jay explained that the group comprised of ex-military black people who are very disciplined and expert shooters. Now, this wicked nigga here is trying to fight against Esau, who's blessed with the sword. You know, he wants you so-called black, Latino, Mexican, Native Americans to get plowed down. And 2/3 of you going to fall into that trap. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord Yahweh. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel into anger. They are gone away backwards. And this is going away backwards when you're trying to bear arms against, the devil, Esau Edom, who is the white man. He was blessed with the sword, the weapon, the modern day sword. So when you black, Latino, Mexicans, and Native Americans, when you take up your arms and you get down with Jam Master Jay right here, and you go up against the so-called white man who is Esau, just stand by. Just, tell your family just to go ahead and order your casket. This devil is again, I don't know how many times we have to say it, he was blessed with the sword. How can you defeat someone who have all the weapons? You got a gun, he got a weapon. Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. For the word of the God Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and the joints and marrows. It is a discerner of the thoughts and intent of the heart. This what scares Esau Edom, the so-called devil, the white man. This word of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah is being preached through the four corners of the earth. Repent. This what you so-called black, Latino, Mexicans, and Native Americans need to be doing in these last days. And again, these are the last days. This COVID-19 is just about to bring on more pestilence, and famine. So while you drawing weapons with Jam Master Jay, you need to be standing by, because the Most High Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah about to bring more death upon the earth. And it's going to start with you 2/3 who falling after this devil, this demon, Jam Master Jay. So my advice to you so-called black, Latino, Mexicans, and Native Americans, in these last days, this nigga on this screen, you need to forsake him. He's unrighteous in all his dealings, and come back to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash, in these last days. Don't seek out the wickedness. You have to seek out the righteousness, because you are the seed of the righteous, Abraham, Isaac, and of Jacob. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and this Jam Master Jay is wicked, and the followers are wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked ways, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thyself. And that's what I'm here to do, to warn you to turn from your wicked ways, because you're going to die in your iniquity, following after Jam Master Jay. 2/3 won't listen. U.S. Chinese navies hold dueling exercises in the South China Sea. You got the Nimitz and the Ronald Reagan there. The U.S. and the Chinese navies are holding competing exercises in the South China Sea as Beijing accuses Washington of militarizing the region. On Saturday, the U.S. Navy Ronald Reagan and Nimitz carrier strike group transited from the Philippine Sea to the South China Sea and held first dueling drills there since 2014. As you can see, the kingdom versus kingdom is about to arise. See, this is the Nimitz, and the Ronald Reagan in this photo. And believe you me, they got plenty of frigates, surrounding these two aircraft carriers, because they have to have those to protect, when flight quarters take place. So what's happening here is that the United States is showing a show of power against, China, and it's about to pop off. World War III is popping off soon. Seeing what you have here, you got two kingdoms. You got the Chinese kingdom, and you got the American kingdom. Two world powers. And we're going to look up that word definition of kingdom, so you'll understand what it means, truly what it means. And again, this is the United States. They show a force with their carriers. And believe you me, they got some frigates, surrounding these carriers. And there's plenty more ships out there in the South China Sea from America. The definition of kingdom is a country, state, or territory ruled by a king or a queen. And the United States is ruled by the President of the United States. He pretty much set the tone. He the one to declare war, even though you have to go to Congress to get permission to execute that war. But he can say, hey, I want to go to war, and it happens. And the President of China, he's the same. That's a different kingdom, two different kingdoms. Okay, so let's look into that definition of kingdom. Again, we got a ram. This is a ram dominion. A country is the United States of America. You got nation, you got a nation of people, you got different nations of people here. You got a state, you got states. So that's what kingdom mean. Kingdom versus kingdom. My next precept gonna come out of the book of Matthew, just so you have an understanding further of this kingdom. It's in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence, earthquake in diverse places. And that's what's happening in the South China Sea. You got two kingdoms that are rising, that are rising up against one another. So you got the United States and you got China, two major kingdoms. Self-explained. So now, when you read this article, you got the U.S. Chinese navies holding dueling exercises in the South China Sea. Now you can see that the United States and China, they're holding dueling exercises off the South China Seas. Why? Because they are just like war games. They going practicing different scenarios, trying to counter each other's move, just like playing chess. The China saying, if the United States make this move, I'm gonna make this move. See, this the war Armageddon. It's not going to just take place in America. This is going to be a global war, World War III. This going to bring in the rulership, of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly calls JC. So, all this is Bible prophecy. Again, you got two major kingdoms, having war exercises against one another, war scenarios, so to speak. Now we're going to read Matthew 24 and 7 again. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. We just read the definition of kingdom, United States and China, two different kingdoms. And there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So we know that there are earthquakes are taking place in diverse places around the world right now. But now we're going to look at this nation shall rise against nation. Nation shall rise against nation. Nation defined is a large body of people united by common descent, history, culture, language, inhabiting a particular country or territory, Salaki inhabiting, common descent in history and culture. Now our culture, you so-called Black, Latino, Mexican, Native American is a lot different than the Edomites, the so-called white man, so different nations. Now, this is an article out of Vox News. This is in a speech at Mount Rushmore on Friday. 45 warned of a far-left fascism that is part of a merciless campaign to wipe out our history, defame our heroes, erase our values, indoctrinate our children. That lets you know that you are separate from the so-called devil. See, this further goes to show you that you are of a different nation than the so-called devil, which is Esau Edom, who is the white man. You're a different people than those people, because he used words like our, what you want to have statues, represent, your oppression, the rape, robbing, murdering of your people. They value that. That's a value to them. It let them know that they are reign over you. This ideology is so that this devil Esau Edom, who is the white man, that let you so-called Black, Latino, Mexican, Native Americans know that, hey, we once ruled over y'all and we're going to continue to rule over y'all. Why? Because we have different values than you. We have different heroes than you. They heroes are Confederate, those guys on those Confederate statues, those presidents that had you so-called Black, Latino, Mexican, and Native Americans in derision. That's why you so-called Black, Latino, Mexican, Native Americans right now are marching, through the streets of America, under the banner of Black Lives Matter. Instead, you should be saying Israelite lives matter, and coming back and repent and coming back to the Most High Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. This lesson wasn't meant to be long. I hope it was edifying. I'm going to give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and to the Akim and the Akwaf listening and learning. Shalom. In closing scripture, come out of Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Repent, Israel, you so-called Black, Latino, Mexicans, Native Americans.